The work of clearing out my Letterboxd watch list never stops, so let's pick something at random and review it. Today's video is going to be about Executive Decision. Could you believe that I have only seen one Steven Seagal film, and it's Machete? There are so many garbage movies that I could get into. And this one has Kurt Russell, Halle Berry, John Leguizamo. Fantastic cast. Let's get into some Steven Seagal. 90s action movies are a huge blind spot for me, and here I have the Letterboxd stats to prove it. Most of the ones I've seen are genre-related in one way or another. I didn't even see Speed until a couple of years ago, and I finally saw the Die Hard films just this year. Even though I liked Die Hard with a Vengeance quite a bit, every time I sit down to watch one of these movies, it feels like homework. I'm not talking about action movies in general, by the way, just the ones that have this very overtly self-serious tone that a lot of Hollywood movies had around that time. To me, it always felt like such an overcorrection from the very campy, unhinged, and cocaine-fueled action movies of the 1980s. So where does Steven Seagal fit into all of this? Why was Executive Decision even on my watch list? Well, for as long as I've been aware of pop culture, he's always been a punchline. Someone who was so difficult to work with and morally corrupt that he got run out of Hollywood in the early 2000s. That's amazing. In 2009, he had a TV show where he was a cop, and 5 years later, he's Putin's best buddy during Russia's unlawful invasion of Crimea. Steven Seagal is a certified piece of shit and has been for a really long time, but he's also an enigma that's endlessly fascinating. As a fan of dogshit movies and straight-to-DVD trash, I feel like there's a lot to dig into in his filmography, but I should probably start with the classics, right? Oddly enough, this train of thought started after I saw Megan 2.0, a movie that bombed at the box office, but I thought was alright. There's a shocking amount of Steven Seagal references in Megan 2.0, and that's what finally pushed me over the edge. I've heard about Steven Seagal for a long time. I've laughed at Steven Seagal for a long time. Now it's time for me to experience Steven Seagal. Unfortunately, he isn't really in Executive Decision very much, which I realized as soon as the movie started. God damn it, it's this one, I said loudly to myself as soon as a passenger plane was shown on screen. I duped myself 100%, but that's okay, because there are a bunch of other actors in this movie who actually can act. You're not exactly going to have an awful time when Kurt Russell, John Leguizamo, and Halle Berry are here. But that doesn't exactly make Executive Decision a great movie either. There is a section in the middle of this movie that's actually quite good, though. It's right after Steven Seagal gets jeeted into oblivion. But the movie is 132 minutes long, and boy, can you feel it. For a movie about a bunch of cool dudes stopping a hijacking, it sure has a lot of story to it, and none of it is interesting. It's your standard raw US military propaganda that you've seen 1,000 times before. It's not as egregious as some other movies in this regard, but as a non-American, that shit always gets an eye roll from me. Patriotism is just so fucking lame, you guys. Cool guys don't worship flags. I think Executive Decision would have worked a lot better for me if it actually was a one-location thriller. The plane stuff is mostly good. There's just a lot of fluff around it. Every time they would cut to scenes in the Pentagon, I found myself asking, why are we here? Why am I seeing this? Wouldn't it make more sense to not show what was happening on the ground, since the characters on the plane are completely cut off from the rest of the world? If I wanted to build tension, that's how I would do it. That's when it hit me. You cut back to the fucking Pentagon, because that's what you do in a 90s action movie. It's the Tom Clancification of it all. You can't just show what's happening. You need to have some old-ass boring white dudes talk about what's what's happening too. And there's that self-serious tone I was talking about earlier. It's my fucking kryptonite, man. I hate it so much. So obviously this movie wasn't for me, and if I had done more research, I probably would have put another Steven Seagal film on my watch list. I feel like I'm maybe opening up Pandora's box here, but I want to watch some more of his films and maybe follow up on that in another video. My curiosity has piqued even more now. In short, Executive Decision has some great moments of tension and a great cast. I feel like this movie opened my eyes to an alternative universe where John Leguizamo is a huge action star. He's got great chemistry with Kurt Russell, so seeing them together was really fun. Meanwhile, Halle Berry plays a flight attendant who's constantly trying to outsmart the hijackers, which leads to some really tense scenes. So it's not like I hated this movie, it has good elements. It's just puzzling to me why those elements weren't more of a focus. That's the video for today. If you stuck around even though I didn't talk about a horror movie, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I make a new one of these every day, so if you want to hang out, I think we have fun here. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff, and we'll talk about more movies soon, okay? Bye.